Hallo miteinander, I'm Geshady6 and this is the Let's Play Summer Blockbuster. Week 7 is our shoot 'em up week and we are playing Axelay on the Super Nintendo. Now with this game I had a lot of fun playing and practicing it for the week. It is truly a very good game, but we can get over the details on that later. For now, what you need to know is that we are the lone survivor of our fleet in this game, the pilot of the D-117B Axelay fighter. Pretty much everyone we know has been, well, annihilated by the Armada of Annihilation. Truly, that is the best name for any stock evil empire that I've ever heard. Truly. But what can we talk about first in this game? Well, obviously the first thing that you see, the graphics. The scrolling in this game is very smooth and quick, and that gives you a good sense of speed. Everything is very detailed, but that's not the first thing you will notice. The first thing that will intrigue you is the very creative use of Mode 7 in this game. It's creating kind of this illusionary horizon, you know, with things stretching out as they're traveling down the screen. It's really cool and really can't think of many other Super Nintendo games that did that, if any at all. No, I can't. Since we're already in the technical department, let's go over the sound as well. Now, Rete roared Ratatouille. Just kidding, man. Mentioned that he would be very upset if we did not mention the music or sound in Axelay. And I really have to admit, the music in this game is really good. Pretty much every track that I've encountered so far was very fitting. For example, this first level music. It's really got that the journey begins mood to it. And that is really cool. You're kind of above the clouds in your wings of steel, breathing in the freedom of flight. Everyone your character has ever known or loved has been horribly killed, and all that is portrayed in the music. Well, actually not the last part, but still it is simply glorious. Now that's all fine and good, but graphics and sound don't make a game. The next question you might be having is what sets Axelay apart from other shooters of its time? It has got a very creative weapon system. You always carry 3 weapon slots with you: primary, secondary weapon and special missiles. And at first you don't have any alternatives for these weapon slots. You have the straight laser, the round Vulcan and the macro missile. But with each cleared stage you get new alternatives to pick from, and that really adds a strategic component to the game. Some weapons may be good for some levels or not so good. There's even more to this weapon system, but we can go over that later. For now, let's take this upcoming turn that is going really quickly. Better not shoot at these self-destructing mines while you're doing that. Whenever I'm taking these fast turns, I'm kind of bending in my chair. My psychiatrist said that that is not a very normal thing to do, but what does he know? Nothing, that is the answer. How dare he try to take my shmups away, my lasers and my explosions. You've just heard a little alarm sound. We are about to face the Arachnotron, the very first boss of this game. This guy is not too challenging, but he uses a few dirty little tricks. For once, he uses a kind of holographic web beam. I'm not sure if you can see it all the time, but it's there. That does not kill you, but instead slows you down. You can hardly evade it, but it'll make you prone to being hit by other attacks. When the Arachnotron is close to you, you better get out of the way so that it doesn't hit you with its beams. And when it spawns its little spiderlings, moving closer to the Arachnotron will usually make them miss you, because the shots are aimed. Anyway, the boss fell apart, exploded, and we can move on to the second level of the game now. For this stage we can choose a new weapon for our missile slot, the explosion bomb. Yes, you heard right, it is a bomb that explodes. Now that might sound completely phantasmagorical to you. I couldn't believe it at first either, but yes, we have a bomb that explodes on impact. This game is crazy, completely bonkers. But no matter, you know what else is crazy? Something that you might have noticed already. We have changed perspectives. Yes, we are no longer scrolling vertically, but horizontally. There is another Konami game that did that on the NES, Life Force. So, yeah, those games, that game and Axelay are a little bit connected, you could say, but only very loosely. Another thing I really want you to notice is you just saw how I destroyed that first group of turrets by shooting to my back. That gun that I'm using is the round Vulcan, and it is pretty much my weapon of choice in that game. When you let go of the shoot button, it will travel to the back of your ship, hitting also targets on the top and down side of it. And if you can get used to how it's being used, it is just an amazing weapon. I really love it. It might seem a little bit difficult to use because apart from dodging everything, you have to like direct your weapon around, but it is not. It feels really natural. Seriously, I love the round Vulcan. It is amazing. If I ever have a child, I'm going to name it after that gun. It is that good. Yeah, round Vulcan, it already sounds like a superhero, doesn't it? Behold, the amazing round Vulcan. Superheroes aside, I call the use very natural, and you know what else is natural? Just how Axelay overall feels. Have you noticed before that this game does not have any power-ups? No, you have not seen a power-up so far, and you are not going to, because there are none. Actually, I think the very minimalistic design of Axelay is one of its biggest strengths. You also have something else. You have no checkpoints in this game. You instantly respawn if you get hit, and as long as you still have lives, you can just continue the level. It also has nothing resembling a Gradius syndrome. You always start at full power, at full speed, whatever. Well, there is something like that. Actually, you can lose your weapons by being hit by small projectiles, but all in all, it's really not as bad as it may sound at first. You know, a collision will still kill you in one hit, but if, like, a small bullet hits you, it may cripple you, but at least you survive. It's not like an ant farts on your wing and you explode. Better not use any important weapons at a tight spot where you think you'll get hit, because you will not have them anymore. If you die, you will gain back all the weapons that you lost on that life. I have to admit, Axelay is just a very fun and impressive game. All the gameplay decisions made in Axelay feel very healthy. They make it hard for the right reason when it ever gets hard. It does get hard. And the shooters that I like are also fair instead of cheap. For example, like the Toho series. And, well, at least the Toho iterations that I like. I don't really like all of them. But the music of this level has changed once again. So we are about to face our boss, and that boss, I kind of think he is seen as a very iconic boss, but to be honest, I find him a little bit boring. It is not a very difficult fight if you know what to do in it. It is a chicken walker, George Lucas called. He's gonna sue if he doesn't get his AT-ST back. At first you cannot hurt this guy, but when the screen stops scrolling, you have to hit him in like the centerpiece. That is best done with the straight laser, a relatively unimpressive weapon apart from that, but it can pinpoint the weak spot very easily, and you can deal consistent damage with it. Now, the cap of this boss kind of shields it from harm a little bit, but you can still shoot through it on the kind of underside. Apart from that, this boss has a couple of weapons. It has a Gatling gun that is very ineffective, a big laser that it has not used yet, but that is almost equally ineffective, because from both of these attacks you can just hide pretty much on the top side of the walker. It is called the T-36 Tau Bar, by the way, which, well, is a name and nothing else. You can destroy the Gatling gun, but why would you care? Because that attack pretty much just leaves the boss wide open. The most dangerous attack is pretty much the random shots that it fires out. And finally it explodes, dying without any glory. This victory has actually net us 2 achievements, the easy achievement for just clearing stage 2, and the hard achievement for beating a whole level without taking a single hit from anything. It's called Without a Scratch. Beating this stage also gave us a new weapon, the Needle Cracker, for our primary slot. That is a very mean weapon. Your enemies will try to eat the cracker and they will puncture their tongue and they will have to see the doctor. And while that is happening, we little rascals hide in our little corner and laugh roguishly at their plight. Yeah, that's not really what that weapon does. Instead it is a semi-homing laser. Not really all that powerful, but definitely more useful than the underwhelming straight laser. That weapon really is only useful for the 2nd level boss. Apart from that, it's, yeah, nothing special. So, but the Needle Cracker is really good. Really a weapon that I like. Stage 3 is called Urbanite, and it's a lot about weaving through these aerial structures. As I said, collisions kill you instantly. You really gotta watch out for the visual effect, because structures will stretch out as they come close to you. I want to talk again about the nature of this week's contest. We have Shoot 'em Up week and we are playing Axelay, but not everyone is playing Axelay this time. Before the week we had a vote on which console we liked best. I chose the Super Nintendo because I grew up on it, I had it when I was a teenager, and if I had known that it was the shooter week, I'm not sure if I would have picked Super Nintendo, because the Super Nintendo is not really renowned for having a lot of good shooters, but Axelay is pretty much the prime of the system. Well, there are other exceptions, but still the Super Nintendo is not where a lot of shooter fans look for games. Now we've encountered another mini-boss. This guy uses a chaffing device to disrupt your Z-SNES sensor array. Actually, I'm just making that up, and if you can't tell, my emulator is glitching up. Yeah, makes this boss a little bit harder, but not all that much. It really helps to lure this guy to the left first and then immediately switch over to the right, because his movements kind of match yours, and the biggest danger of him is just ramming into you, because he is pretty much 5 times as big as you. You don't want him to run you over. Nope. I want to talk about the last achievement for this week. This secret achievement, it is called Adam has authorized the use of the Big Bang Boom Boom. That achievement stumped me for a long time. Yes, I know that it is a reference to Metroid Other M. I think it has something to do with the explosion bomb, however, but I don't know exactly what. Is it enough to just choose it? Maybe, we'll see. But at least that achievement reminded me of Metroid Other M. Kind of a good game, but the writing is so terrible. I can give it to you in a nutshell. Adam, there is fire and monsters and lava everywhere. Can I please activate the Varia suit so that I don't die? No. But it will not harm the ship's integrity in any negative way. Nope. Don't you have some monotone monologue to do, lady? Oh yeah. Babies. They're crying for their mother, which is me. Yeah, that is Metroid Other M in 10 seconds. It might not have been 10 seconds, but it is a concept, not an actual time measurement. Anyway, we have encountered the 3rd level boss, the dreaded Regeneratoid. It has 3 phases. The first phase is just it tries to run into you. Destroy its satellites and you should be fine. But the second phase looks a lot more menacing. It's firing all these many bullets out at you that even expand by exploding. However, the lower left corner is pretty much a safe spot, but you gotta get to it quickly or else you will be hit. The explosion bomb is very useful against this boss because it's got this lasting area of effect. But we don't have it right now. We lost it on the mini-boss, where it's also pretty effective. But the Needle Cracker will have to do. The 3rd phase is very easy, however don't get hit by the missiles because they count as a collision. I had to find that out the hard way when one just appeared in my face. But he is also destroyed. Supposedly no one has ever defeated the Regeneratoid. Well, duh, it appeared right in front of us. What is this, a PG-13 fighting anime where the loser just goes away? Nope, I don't think so. I think Axelay has a very large body count. Well, it would have if there were any bodies left to count, if you get what I mean. Stage 4 is the very organic looking underwater cave, and unfortunately I cannot show you very much of it, because we're pretty much at our 15-minute mark. I'm Gish86, this was the Let's Play Summer Blockbuster Week 7 with Axelay. Bis bald!